Nice. So nice to see you again, Irene Helle.
Nice to see you as well. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yes.
Yeah.
How many years now since we finished the film? It was like 2016.
16. So 7 years. 7 years.
Yes.
7 years.
Yeah. And I can introduce, most people know of course Irene Helle, but we made a documentary movie Too Big for the World for, I think we started 2010, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Then we followed first Irene, that were one of the most muscular women in the world and lived in Sweden, and her fight for to be yourself and also your dream of the Olympian stage.
Yes.
And then suddenly, what happened after that?
Suddenly there was a rumor going on that they were gonna take away female bodybuilding from the Miss Olympia, from the Olympia stage, and we was thinking that won't happen, but it did. So they took us away, and it took us 5 years to come back at the stage.
And then before we come to that, because then we start to film in US also, in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And then we also met your friend Helle, that actually you won Olympia once or twice.
Well, you can say I did and I didn't. I won the Rising Phoenix.
Rising Phoenix, the World Championship twice.
Yes. What happened when they shut the Olympia down? It was a very turbulent time. It actually started with they shut down the Honor Classic first,
Yes.
and the Olympia, and suddenly we were there without the biggest competitions in the world. There was a few qualifiers, but there was nothing to qualify for. So a lot of people were, a lot of the athletes were actually going towards physique, which was a newer category in 2016, and some just chose to retire, and of course we were also like...
because you was already too big. They thought we were too big already, so we couldn't go down to downsize to the women's physique, so we actually didn't have any place to...
And also, like, I mean, if you have that much muscle and muscle maturity through training for like 20 years, it's really hard to downsize, because your muscle is so dense, and in physique they don't want to see that type of thickness and density. So I don't think a lot of people or a lot of athletes were actually successful downsizing. Very few. So
and also only a few girls that managed to do that. So,
so we were really like, I don't know, in no man's land, like, what are we gonna do? I was just like, hey, I'm gonna continue enjoying what I do. I'm just gonna train. There's not gonna be a competition, but I'm gonna, just do what I do and enjoy the sport. Like, I love the training. Like, I don't necessarily have to be on stage. I would like to show off my hard work once in a while, but I'm happy being in the gym, so I just continued in the gym, and luckily Jake Wood came along with ideas, with a vision of continuing the Olympia. The Olympia wanted a lot of money for him to take over the name for continuing the women's bodybuilding. He just wanted to do it separately. So he was like, I don't want to spend that much money every year. I think it was like $50,000, $100,000 for the name yearly. He said, I want to give that as the first place prize money for the winner. So we had a new competition growing with a prize money that was never seen before. I think Olympia back then in 2015, I think it was around 20,000 in
for women, yeah.
For women, for the winner. And now we had a show that had $50,000.
The Rising Phoenix.
And a car,
Yeah.
you know, up to $100,000.
Yeah.
I think the Hellcat, the Dodge Hellcat I won was $100,000.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, now it was becoming very lucrative again.
Yeah.
Also, you know, surviving financially, and also, you know, being able to have a place and a stage where you can show off your hard work. So we all, you know, signed up for the Rising Phoenix, which started in 16, and I've been doing it every year since, except for last year because of an injury, but that's another story. But it was just great to all of a sudden, you know,
be back on the
be
stage.
back,
Even
be
if it was
back
a
in the game.
new name, it was
It
like
didn't matter
Olympia,
because it was still like, you said I won the Olympia. Well, I may not have exactly the Olympia title, but it was the Olympia.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
the World
it was,
Championship, yeah.
It was the biggest competition in the world.
Yeah.
It was the same women that competed in the Olympia. They would now compete at the Rising Phoenix because that was the number one, the most prestigious competition in the world.
Yeah.
And it really also continued to establish its name, Rising Phoenix World Championships, in the following years.
Yeah.
And even though, you know, Jake Wood managed to get women's bodybuilding into the Olympia, also because he bought the whole thing.
Yeah.
He bought the competition in 2020.
So now we won't go away again.
Yes. No.
Now we're here to stay.
No, that's amazing like story, and I go back in time here also for your viewers here. What you talk about is when they started Rising Phoenix, and that we follow in the movie is the end of the movie, Too Big for the World.
Yeah,
That
the
you should
first
definitely
Rising
see.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah, because there we saw how your first was removed, and then this new World Championship, and also what to talk about that the prize money was rather low before, and I think that who was it that talked about it in the movie?
Was it Linda Murray?
Yeah, Lena Murray.
Lena Murray.
Lena Murray
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about how they lowered the price,
Yeah.
and they wanted to get you just away with you, and then suddenly, like you say, we raise it. They start a new World Championship,
Yes.
and then raise it enormously the money instead. So I guess that the fear, or the threat to get rid of you, did the opposite.
It did the opposite.
Instead, it goes stronger.
Yes, also because, you know, it's always like this, to really have something thrive, no matter what kind of business it is, it requires people with a passion.
Yeah.
It requires people who really have their heart and their soul in it, and they want to see this succeed.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Olympia, prior to being owned by Jake Wood, it was owned by AMI, which was an organization, and it was basically just let's say
it was
money
like
man, you
money
know,
man.
investors
Yeah,
that just
They
was
didn't
looking,
came with a heart. It was
didn't
just
come
like
they were
investor.
looking at the
Yeah,
numbers,
yeah,
and another thing also was that women's bodybuilding wasn't really marketed, it wasn't
No.
really promoted, and anytime you have a product that you don't promote, what's
It
going
goes
to happen?
down. It's going down.
I mean, you want to sell a soda and nobody knows about it. It's, you know, it's doomed to not go well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Also, when they talked about, because I was so involved with filming this period, and I recommend you viewers to definitely look at Too Big for the World now when we release it for free for everyone, because there you can see the full story about what's happening and all this in this period. But they talked a lot about that's no interest for women's bodybuilding, and therefore they moved away. But I mean, when we did this Too Big for the World, we noticed how huge interest it was. People like mail us and send money, and you know, they're very much push
Support,
it.
yeah, they
support,
support
very
us
big support.
super much, yeah.
So that was like bullshit.
Yeah.
That was not,
I mean, we do have a lot of fans.
A lot
so
of
we,
fans.
Yeah.
we experience this on a daily basis, like
Yeah.
on our social media, on our fan email. Like, women's bodybuilding is very popular among the fans, and
And I feel after we came back. I think that it made us grew much stronger together. I think we have a closer relationship with other female bodybuilders, much more than we had before. It's like we were like threatened to be thrown out. So now I have much more contact with other girls, and it feels like backstage everybody's helping each other. Much more the camaraderie.
You create the solidarity between you.
Me too.
I remember
because we have to stick together. It felt like that.
No, I
and
remember
also
that
when everything began, you know, we really had to all stick together and be a group. So also Jake Wood invited to meetings, and we had like group meetings where we would discuss like what's the future of bodybuilding, how are we gonna go about this, how are we gonna market this, and we all got the responsibility of like you know, promoting Wings of Strength, promoting the competitions, promoting women's bodybuilding, and really you know, that everybody understood that they had a responsibility to be a role model.
Exactly.
You know,
everybody had to step up.
Like how do you grow a sport? You want young people to come into the sport. You want people to be drawn in and be like, wow, this is interesting. You know, it's not just about getting people to go to the shows. It's also about growing the sport and getting people into training, into seeing, wow, this is a really cool sport.
Yeah, of course.
And you need like role models. We gotta post, we gotta be visible on social media, we gotta talk to our fans, we gotta have fan clubs, you know, things like that started to really grow also as well.
No, there really was an explosion thereafter, and it's so ironic or paradoxal, or what you say, that they removed you from Olympia. You started anew with the help of Jake Wood, a new world championship, and then you bought the whole Olympia. Could it be better? Like, okay, what you say now, we own it.
Now we own it. And no one will throw us away.
No, that's absolutely.
Yeah, well, what do you say? Like sometimes karma, you know.
No, because do you remember when we was at Olympia when you was not there? We had the booth, the Too Big for the World booth. You were,
you were there.
And we was also trying to screen the movie in the theater in there. And they but then us. Got the mail from the leader of that time's Olympia, and they stopped us to show the. They
stopped us to show we couldn't screen it at the Olympia.
That's crazy.
They really want, and I also saw that. I mean, they want to remove you, but when we had the Too Big for the World booth, and when you was standing like this in the stairs instead of the
when we do the post down in the middle of the
people just exploded and look as a so big crowd. So I mean, it was
a huge interest.
I think that was the crazy part. You know, when they took women's bodybuilding out, they said it was because it wasn't popular. Or that was like the excuse or whatever. But then it was like, you know, what year was that? We were at the Olympia.
Doing what?
When we were at the Too Big for the World booth. What year was that?
2015. 15,
I
think
16.
It was the first year we wasn't there.
Yeah, it was probably 16 then. But I remember I had work at another booth. I had a sponsor that I had to be at the booth. But then you guys also asked, because, you know, I'm in the movie, if I could be at your booth also. So I was running like this back and forth because sometimes I would be like, you know, because me and Irene was posing together, you know, and it's for a lot of people quite a spectacle to be two big women. You know, we are both Vikings and one of the biggest in the sport, both of us, you know. Right now we are about 200 kilos together off season. So, you know, people were going crazy and I sometimes had to be like, I have to go to my egg white booth, you know, I was sponsored athlete there. So I would run back to go there and flex. And then, you know, I think Hannah came over, a few people from your booth came over to get me. Please come back. We have a lot of people waiting there.
Asking, I wanted to have the double.
We have a line. So I was running like this,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we were like, "This is crazy." They say we are not popular, and it's like all day sweaty, you know, posing here, posing there, you know.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
So that wasn't true.
It was
what-
fun though. It was fun.
If you go back in time, there, what do you think was the reason?
I think there was a couple of things. At the time, they wanted to go into the Olympics.
Yeah.
They wanted to get into the Olympics. And also, yes,
Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay.
there was even talk of taking the Mr. Olympia away.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, classic men's physique came
Yeah.
in. Men's physique, the bikini,
Yeah.
the women's physique came in. So I think they were kind of thinking they wanted more like women's physique to be the
Yeah.
new bodybuilding, and they wanted to scale everything
Yeah.
down, and they just wanted things to, you know, they wanted it to look more mainstream.
Yeah,
and not
more
be-
mainstream. Yeah.
not so extreme. But the thing is, you know, humans like extreme.
Yeah, like
You
you,
know,
say in the movie, you say that they want to see the extreme.
They
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
they want
see
to
it.
see like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
how
No,
can,
Yeah, yeah.
why
how can
did-
you look
why,
that like
why
that?
did we have such a crowd at the booth? You know,
Yeah,
people want to
yeah.
see the muscle.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't just want to see Irene. They didn't just want to see me. They want to see both of us,
Yeah,
two
yeah.
of us. You know, more.
Yeah, yeah.
You
of
know,
course.
you go to a fight, a boxing match.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to see the bantamweight or you want to see the heavyweight?
Yeah, what's the
Yeah,
heavyweight?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people go to drag racing. They
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
feel the power,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, human beings like extreme. You
Yeah.
know, we freaking do crazy things. People climb Mount Everest and they
Yeah,
freeze their
exactly.
hands and feet off, and
Yeah,
you know, explode in car accidents in the Formula One racing, and you know, because we like.
Yeah,
to push it,
I
you know?
think people want to see some individuals in the world that go further and
Yes.
see how is it possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is mountain climbing, bodybuilding, or racing cars? How fast can we race?
Things that they don't want
Yeah.
to do themselves. They
No.
just want to see the
They want to
extreme,
see
what
is possible?
what is possible. And,
Yeah.
And be like this, like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a different factor. It's different. You know, say if you have a bikini athlete,
Yeah.
you can say, this is good for getting a lot of people into the sport
Yeah.
because it's very mainstream. Everybody can obtain this.
and you don't have to train for like 20 years before
Yeah,
you do it.
it's-
You can go
it's-
in.
Say in the movie, well, you can train 6 months.
I mean, it's obtainable. You
Yeah.
know, if you're a young, pretty girl, even like I've seen older women like go into the masters and they really got in shape
Yeah.
and they kill it. You know, so that's very obtainable. And I think it's great. It's not to mock bikini at all. You know that you can train 6 months or a year. Because this is what creates the broadness, you know,
Yeah.
that we have a lot of people at the shows, and it pays, you know. The promoters need to make money too. Often with bodybuilding, we are not that many because it takes many years. I mean, I've been training 32 years, and you're probably the same, you know. So sometimes there's 6 women at a show, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So we need the width, but people wanna. It's
They wanna
different.
see the- they
you
wanna
know,
see the
it's
extreme.
different.
Yeah.
The mainstream is great, but the extreme is like people want to be like, they want to sit and they want to look and they be like,
Yeah, yeah.
wow, how is it possible a
Yeah.
woman can get those
Yeah.
arms, you know? Like, how can a woman have shredded quads
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
with feathering and cross-striations? And they be like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I have men who are like, but you're bigger than me.
Yeah.
Like, you are a lot bigger than me. Like, and some they want to like arm wrestle, or they want to feel my strength, and they're like, damn, you could crush me. You know, they're blown away because
Yeah.
they don't. They think it's crazy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing that
Yeah.
a woman can be this
Yeah,
strong and
yeah.
this big, and there's something, I guess, exciting about people who can push it to the limit,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
matter what sport it is.
Exactly, it is whatever
It's in
it
the
is.
achievement.
Yeah. It's. I think it's in human nature to. Yeah, to go over the limit, to
just
see
push
what
the
happens.
limit to see
Push
what's
the
happening.
limit. Yeah. And that's also what you talk about in the movie when I ask you sometimes why do you train so hard?
Yeah.
And you say
What
it's not for the stage.
No.
Because you don't like it, but to be honest,
No.
it's to see how much you can push yourself.
Yeah, to see how far you can take it,
Yeah.
and how much you can take. Yeah.
So there you can go to another, because now when you're getting older and older, and I don't say this as a negative thing, I say it more like very impressed of it. Both of you, now you're a bit older. How old are you now?
48.
48.
Mhm.
Yeah, you see also. I get inspired by you because, I mean, I'm 54 now, and I hang with people. Most people say that, yeah, but when you get older, you cannot be so big, you cannot train. And I think, well, Irene are 2-3 years older than me. Helle is just a couple of years younger, and you are still competing in the world elite.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no excuse.
There's no excuse. No excuses.
No excuses.
But how does it, if you take that, because I found it, for me it's a very important thing to keep the health and the strength when I get older.
Yeah.
And how do you think about it also when you now get older? How do you feel about it, and how long do you think you will compete on, both of you?
How long is we're gonna compete? I don't know. It's like we both of us took 1 year off. We haven't competed this year. Just to put on some more size.
Yeah, I mean,
and just to
us who have competed so many years, you know, we
Without
need
stop.
also sometimes to step back and let the body
Yeah,
recover.
yeah.
You
so
know,
it's important with the health.
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
You've been competing how many years in a row with no break?
I started 2003, and it's only 2005 and 14 and 23. So
But she didn't.
that I didn't compete.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So-
that's only 3 years
Yes.
and 20 years
In 20, yeah.
that she had a break.
Yeah.
I have been competing 12 years in a row
Yeah.
with no break. So
And how do you feel in the body after this? It's a very hard training you do. It's extremely hard.
But it has been nice to. We're training hard, and we. It's not like we're not doing anything. It's like
No,
off
we
season,
train
but
hard.
we train hard.
Yeah.
But I feel that my body really needed that,
Yeah.
and the mind,
Yeah.
just to like enjoy. I think it's the first summer I'm not on diet. that I can remember.
no, health is important.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you don't have any big injuries? So do you feel still strong in the body and
Yeah, feel
vital in the body?
Yeah, feels strong still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a major injury last year. I tore 2 tendons, my bicep tendon
Oh, okay.
and my supraspinatus. I tore them both off. Of course, you know, when you're an athlete, it's you a little bit cuckoo.
Yeah.
You know, we don't just take an injury and be like, oh, you know, let's just rest. So I was like, no, I gotta show myself I can come back, and of course I'm gonna be in the Olympia. So I really pushed it last year.
Yeah.
I had the surgery, did my rehab, hired some experts to help me get going with the mobility, and trained myself back up and competed at the Olympia end of last year. And we're still 3rd place, even though I only could train 6 months, the last 6 months of the year. But you know, where there's a will, there's a way, as they say.
Yeah.
But after the show, I really felt like how I had been pushing the body,
Pushing to it, man.
and my
Yeah.
mobility was still not 100%. And it was my smallest physique in some years,
Oh, okay.
because, you know, only being able to train half the year.
Yeah.
So it's like it was just, it's different goals.
Mm.
But it taught me a lot about what I'm capable of myself, and it also taught me that competing isn't always just about winning and getting the trophy.
No, you compete against yourself to see what you.
Yes, exactly. What you're made of, and last year it was all about showing myself that I could come back. Also, now you're talking about age and getting older. Then it's the whole thing about, you know, when am I going to retire? when is the body done? Will it be done, or
Yeah,
will it be mentally you're done
Yeah,
first, or will it be physically?
Yeah.
You know, it's of course sometimes
We don't know
think
that
about you think about when's the day gonna come, but then again, you know, Irene is in her 50s, she's still competing.
Yeah,
I'm in my 40s, so I look at her also, and like she's also inspiring
Yeah,
me.
yeah, I understand.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, she's.
You cannot stop. You cannot
You can't
reach
stop
before
it yet.
I
I mean, I don't need
You have to reach my age when I stop before
Yeah.
you stop. So you
I'm
have
like,
some more
you,
years.
how old are you?
56.
56. So you know, I still have 8 years before I'm 56. So I'm like, damn, man, I don't
You
need to
can't-
retire.
You can't stop yet.
So yeah, but of course, when you get an injury like that, you start thinking, is this a career-ending injury?
Yeah.
So I had to show myself that I could come back, and I
Mm.
did. So that was the goal last year, was to
just to come back and do good.
I needed it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when they say when you fall off the horse, you need to get up
Yeah,
right
yeah,
away.
yeah.
I feel like if I didn't get up right away
Yeah.
and got into it, maybe I would lose the faith or my courage or something like that. So this year it was all about improvement, and it was kind of like me and Irene. We are a team. I'm now here in Sweden training with her, and we kind of made the mutual decision that this year was going to be about improvements, and you know, we are by no means we are done. You
No.
know,
No.
and you
We
can.
just
I believe.
sneaking around a bit.
Yeah,
training
I
hard.
mean, Irene has been getting better every year. You know,
That's
I mean,
so that's so incredible that you're also getting better. Maybe you also do, but I mean, you are 56, you're 2 years older than me, and you're actually getting better. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
but,
when we stopped filming you, you were not placed so high,
Oh.
but then the year after again, you were third place in the
Third at the
world.
Rising Phoenix and 5th place at the Olympia.
Yeah, and then also shows to the most muscular in one competition.
2.
I mean, and you're still getting older.
yeah.
So that's absolutely
I have
amazing.
one most muscular one
Yeah,
also,
that one.
and you know, I was in my 40s.
Yeah, that's also amazing.
All my highest, best titles,
Yeah.
I was in my 40s. So I'm like, we're still improving. So
Yeah,
as
you
long
are.
as
Yeah, that's
as long as
absolutely.
we're still improving,
Yeah.
why should we stop?
No.
But there also
So-
one different with men and women. I mean, you women, you seem to improve when the men doesn't do that.
I think we're just resilient.
Now I see that, for example, Cutler is 50 now, and they compete for the Masters. But you don't compete for the Masters. You are in the
Open.
In the open, yeah.
Yes.
Is it any
We
master
both
in
are.
women?
Yes.
Yes, there are actually Masters Olympia now
week.
this weekend.
Ah,
Yes.
so maybe that's the difference. The men go to masters when they're 50, and the women when they're 80, maybe.
Yeah, we still have another at least 20 years.
Hope they're still having masters then.
Uh,
So, but this year, this is actually the first time that Jake Wood and Alina, they made this Masters Olympia,
Oh,
because
it
it
is
was
the first.
only it was
Ah.
only for men before,
yeah.
and they stopped it for like, I think it, how many years since they stopped?
Masters Olympia has been gone now for 11 years.
11 years.
So it's
Ah.
going to be a big comeback this
Yeah.
weekend.
Nice.
And now they have all the division, bikini,
Ah,
figure,
that's
fitness,
perfect.
all the division
Perfect.
masters. That's the first time ever. Before it was only the men's open.
So I think
So the
your
sport is actually
I
growing.
think your future are saved.
Oh.
I think your future are saved. If it master, then you don't ever need to.
No,
If you don't want, of course. If you,
we will keep
We
coming
have
back.
Michelle Brandt. How old is she? She's competing.
She's 65, a really
Yeah.
good
And
friend
she's
of
doing
us.
the,
Yeah.
and
The
she's in the
masters.
open.
No, in the masters.
In the masters.
She's in the
yeah, yeah,
Masters
the
Olympia
Masters,
this weekend
week.
at 65 years
Yeah,
old.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's shredded to the
She
bone.
is shredded.
Like, you know, people who say that when you get older you can't lose the fat, or if you have kids. I mean, this is a good example of it. Michelle is 65 and she stands there with straight glutes and
Yeah.
super shredded.
Yeah.
Irene had 3 kids and
Yeah.
she's still on top of her game,
Yeah,
you know, shredded to the bone. So You know, if you are willing to put in the work, you can look however you want.
And if you like say just a couple of sentences about what is because you both have done it for years, all your life almost. What is the greatest as a passion in yourself? What you get out of it in yourself, not just winning. I mean, with the training, if you explain it, if you understand the question.
I think it's a lot. It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of different things. First, we like the training and like the lifestyle. You know, when you train and keep yourself fit, everything is like you eat better food. You take a bit more care of yourself. It's like a lifestyle. So first, you like that lifestyle because it's not like it's a 24/7 job we're doing, and that's.
Yeah,
I think that's the main thing that we like.
Yeah.
That
you
lifestyle.
have to definitely like the lifestyle, and I mean what it's giving. It's just I think just when you're living according to yourself.
Yeah.
That's really where you find happiness. You know, like when you look at people who are in jobs that they don't like, that they don't have a passion for, that it's just, you know, it's just money.
Yeah.
It's something you may have to do, but for us it's like it's just the greatest blessing in life to be able to do something that you love to do. You like the lifestyle, you love to work out, you love to share your passion with you know your friends and your colleagues
and friends all over the world.
You
we
know,
have friends all over the world, and we can travel and visit people all over the world.
Friend. We just have a friend visiting here on Sunday that's coming from Dubai. She's also an IFBB pro.
Yeah.
I'm going to Switzerland to visit some of also IFBB pros just to train and hang out. You know, so we have a really big network of like we said before, with the camaraderie that has really blossomed after we realized, shit, this may all be over, you know. So we really have like friends and colleagues all over the world, and we do share the passion. We talk a lot, we meet, we train, we go to shows together. Now we're going to, in September, we're going to Alicante to the European Pro. Me and Irene, and I have 2 clients competing, and we're all going to do a little bit of vacation afterwards, you know, so it's like she said, it's a lifestyle, and it also becomes
You know, this is Sweden podcast, and we are not so pretentious. It can be like, it doesn't need to be a big fancy studio.
No, we were just talking about this the other day. We were filming.
Okay, that was.
We were.
Tack så mycket, bara kanske 10 minuter. Where were we, Helle? You talk about something? Or both?
Yeah, just you know what the sport is like giving us in terms of like, you know, more than medals.
Yeah.
It just when you've been doing it as long as we have, it also becomes part of your identity.
Yeah.
And I think also that's a big question. We just talked about retirement, like, you know, when I start thinking about, well, at some, you know, one day the day will be there. You have to retire. How are you going to handle that? Because when the sport has become your identity, and it's something that you've been doing, you know, since you were very young. I started 15 years old to work out. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
One thing is that we will continue to train at least. And probably we find some other ways to be connected in the sport to help. I think we will continue to like help other people in the sport and support.
I'm already a coach for other athletes. I prep.
So I think that will be the next step, that you still because it's been like a lifestyle, and it's we wouldn't quit doing it, I think.
No.
Just to like
Training-
now we stop training, no bodybuilding.
Training
do
is
something
for
else.
life.
Yeah, that's for life.
Training is for life. It's
More than
not-
competing, that you say. Yeah.
It's not for medals, it's for life. Of
Yeah.
course, you want the medals too, but I always said, if you compete for the medal, you won't last long in the sport.
No.
If you compete for the love of training, you'll last forever.
Yeah. So we can make the viewers happy that you will definitely not quit this year or next year.
No,
No.
we've been on a year here, like serious gains. We've really been training hard, and we are both planning on showing a new and improved physique next year at next year's shows. We are coming to kick some ass.
That's our plan.
That's the plan. Kicking ass 2024.
Sounds great. So then also to the viewers here, that like I said before, that we will release the Too Big for the World movie for free now. So please spread it as much as you want, because we want the message out. And if you want to support the movie, then you can donate to Irene or to Helle instead. Support them, because they will continue competing. And maybe it will be Too Big for the World too. Who knows? We don't promise anything, but who knows?
Have a lot of requests.
Yeah. We'll see what will happen. But amazing to see you again here now. It was like a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And your next step now, is it to train together, and you will be in Sweden for a while, or?
Yes, I will be in Sweden for a while, at least until winter, and then
You will?
we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, but then maybe I live in the forest in Sweden, so I'm not. Also, but I will definitely, if you want, I will come down in the autumn and we can see what's happening.
See what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do some more filming. And you're welcome up also to the forest.
We will find him in the forest.
Yeah.
It will be fun to try one of your full body workouts.
Yeah. Do that.
could be fun.
Yeah, like he told us he's doing a new type of workout. It's
Yeah.
like without weights, right?
Yeah, it's a conscious.
So is it calisthenics or?
It's a bit there. I try to mix very explosive with total meditation. And also very much presence in the muscle. I try to learn the people that I have that train for me. And there also I got it from the bodybuilding, because you have the presence.
This
in the muscle.
mind muscle
Yeah.
connection.
Muscle
So
connection.
before we start to have the work, we do it in the morning. And then we start to like breathe, meditate, come down to the body, feel the muscle we will work with. If you work with upper body, feel the chest, feel it, and be in it, and close your eyes. And then when we do push-up, so feel it, connect with the muscle. So that is the type of...
Perfect.
You know, I've been doing yoga for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then
Yeah.
you should come up to... So you should have yoga for up in this place. So
Yeah.
you're very welcome. up
Yoga, meditation,
Yeah.
workouts. I love it.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
So look at the movie. Also look at the new homepage that the movie will be in. There you can see the other movies also and stuff like that. And do you want to say anything to the viewers before we say goodbye?
We want to say thank you to the fans who's been supporting us,
Yeah.
and also everyone who's been supporting the movie. And
I hope you will all look at it if you haven't seen it before. And as Renzo said, it's for free now.
Yeah.
So and we will make sure you can find it.
Yeah.
Put it out.
yes, thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you. Thank you, Helle.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can
Hon har frusit fast där nu.
Kopparna vittrar om död, följer vargarnas spår. När jorden sakta blir rörd, ljuder offringens blod. Dimman som tätnar vid sjön skymmer själarnas färd över vittrande bergsig.
Okej.